that's smart.
We are sport for choice on day one of the UK Snooker Championship 2023. 3 out of the 4 players on the 2 tables have lifted the title before, but who will do it this time? It's time to find out as we hand to our commentary team of Alan McManus and Dave Hendon.
Thank you. The first frame.
Good afternoon, Hazel. Good afternoon, everyone. And
Ronnie, sorry.
Can you hear him, Middle?
It's just out of vision. Jimmy stepped out, so it will just be Razzie and Ronnie. Sorry. Just going to commentate on lost commentary.
We just had a slight technical issue with our commentary team there, but it means it's the perfect opportunity to speak to Ronnie about the action that we've seen so far and possibly how both players will be feeling. So we know Ding Junhui is under the weather. When you're going out to a tournament with, and you know Ding well, and you know China well, the expectations on his shoulders every time he goes out, it must be tough.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, there's a nation there that support him and want to see him do well. And I think he's carried it really well over the years. You know, he's done brilliant titles. A lot of big titles in China, so I think he handles that side of it really well, really.
Yeah, he does indeed. It was a really strong long red to the bottom left pocket. Something that seems to have changed a little bit in Mark Allen's game is if you compare him to maybe a few years ago, he was really good in amongst the black, but his long potting seems to have changed a fair bit.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been a very, very good all-round player. I think he's got a very good temperament, very good will to win, very good under pressure. You know, not scared of the big occasions. So, he's just a very, very good all-round player now. You know.
Jim, this is going back a little bit now, but exactly 30 years ago, when they announced you coming out to the UK Snooker Championship as the reigning UK champion, what does that mean for you as a player?
Say that again, man. Listen, you know, it's an amazing tournament to win. And when I won in the final, it was over 2 days. And the first round matches were best of 17. So, you know, the best players sort of won. And they've shortened it a bit. And, you know, I'm glad that the final's still best of 19. I think 17 now is beginning a bit short for finals. But, you know, it's an event that every player wants to win. Ronnie's won it 7 times, you know. It's like... It's difficult to keep it going, you know, over the amount of time you have to do to win it. But Mark Allen, as Ronnie said, he's a complete player. He's got everything.
OK, Jim, most people listening and watching this now are big snooker fans, so we can be excused for getting a little bit niche and nerdy here. So you mentioned for you the matches should be a little bit longer, especially the final. What is that about for you?
30.
Well, because, you know, the World Championships is best of 19 first round. Hopefully that will never be changed. And the final, best of 35. You know, these are... The Masters is... you have to be in the top 16. It's like every match is like a final. And, you know, I just think that these top tournaments should be played... I think the first round should be 17, you know. I know it's quite difficult with TV and so many players, but you do get the best players win for me, and I think that especially the UK and the World Championships, they shouldn't change it.
Ron, what does it do to you mentally, trying to play in those sort of marathon tournaments
19.
when you are going deep in them?
Yeah, they can be tough, you know. Two 2 sessions isn't too bad, but when you start playing 3 and 4 sessions, that's, you know, it's a very, very long game from start to finish. But best of 17 is quite a nice race. But I get why they do best of 11s, because they just want a result sometimes. You know, like, you know, when there isn't a result, they kind of feel like they've lost out on something. So yeah, I get what Jimmy's saying. I do think the longer matches, you definitely get the better players coming through winning more often than not.
But I've heard Ronnie say when he's won the World Championships, you know, that he could go again and do it, you know, because you get into a groove, and you know, it definitely takes a bit out of you. But when you're winning, you just go into a zone, and at the moment, Mark Allen's in that zone. I think he might be putting the red in the middle there. Oh no, got away with it.
Beautiful cannon there. Is he a little bit unlucky, or
no? It's perfect. I think he can chip that in, Ron, can't he?
He's been quite lucky there, because going into the pack from that angle, the white could go there, and he's got lucky where the white's landed. The red's over the middle, so I think he's got a bit of a result there, really. Yeah. He didn't get the black great to go into the pack.
Ron, how long does it take for your nerves to kind of settle when you're going out there?
He'll be settled now. Once he's got in there, he's on a 30 break, you know, start putting a few balls, you feel fine, you know. But obviously, first match of the tournament, you know, you are a little bit nervous when you go out there. You know, you just don't want to get beat in the first round, especially as the defending champion. You know, you just want to experience what you experienced last year. Another nice little nudge there, just putting the yellow over the
how would you be? You couldn't put
red
that
over the middle. He'll be feeling great now.
You know, with that 2 nice nudges there, you know, this frame's over, I think, you know, already, and that could have gone. So that happens though. When you're in form and you're winning, playing well, you do get a bit of run.
Looking at Ding there, he's looking like the weight of the world slightly on his shoulders there, or is the weight of the world currently in his gut? We don't know, Jim.
No, he's apparently he's not feeling too good. But as Ron said, that might take the pressure off of him a bit, and he might just sort of loosen up a bit. You know, not thinking that it doesn't really matter because I don't feel good. But it looks like he's definitely going 1-0 behind.
Jim, when you were here last year, we mentioned Mark Allen walked out of the practice room maybe 3 minutes before the match started. How long were you here for?
Well, you know, a lot of players, you know, like to keep it going, and they have sort of a ritual. I think Mark Allen's one of these players who does go straight from the practice table into the match. Some players don't do it. I don't think Ronnie does it.
42.
But it depends on your preference and what's happening. And you know, you've got sometimes when you're winning, you try and keep the same format going of every part of the game. And you know, for sure, he's hitting the ball great.
Ron, what happens if the table in the practice room is different to the actual playing table itself out there, and you've been doing what Mark Allen does? Is that even a factor, or is he just used to that?
I think there won't be that much difference in there. Might play a little bit different, but yeah, I mean, if the conditions are that different, then yeah, it can play around with your technique and the way you're maybe overhitting the ball, underhitting the ball. But usually, you know, when you play at certain venues, you know that the match tables play a certain way anyway. So yeah, it shouldn't really make much of a difference.
Jimmy, if we want to get super niche again, so 5 venues the UK's have been at. Started in Blackpool, it's been in Telford, here, Preston. There's one other one I'm missing. For you, where's been the #1 venue for the UK's?
The Guildhall. You know, this one is a fantastic venue. I think it's the last year next year, so I'm not sure where it's going to go after that. But the Guildhall was very special. But I think the UK, I think sort of once you get here, and because of the event, such a high-profile Triple Crown, you know, I think the players don't really care. They just want to try and win the tournament. You know, they do have their, like, York is such a great city, especially at Christmas time, you know, there's nice restaurants and all that. But the event sort of overtakes where it is, you know, it's you know, hopefully, you know, I'm not sure. If it stays here, people will be happy with it. If it went back to the Guildhall, which I've heard it's been refurbished, that'd be another great place to play.
It's also produced some amazing magic. I was thinking about just 2 years ago when the final was Brissell, Zhao Xing-Tong, and then Brissell then goes on off the back of that to become world champion. So almost your career can start at a place like this if you get confidence, if it goes well, because before then, we weren't really talking about Luca Brissell as a real contender.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's such a big tournament. I think if you do have a good run here, you go on to win it, get to the final, it just gives you that belief I think you can. And like we say, when Purcell was done well in that tournament, I think it was about 40 odd in the world at the time. So I think from that moment onwards, he just became just a different player. You know, just a better all-round player, more confidence. Yeah, just settles a bit easier, you know.
67.
Is there a sense of familiarity that if you are used to winning, which Mark Allen is getting used to winning now, that you turn up to a tournament and you think to yourself, I fancy this rather than I need to win this for my ranking or my 1 year or whatever it might be?
Well, you know, we talked earlier on about Neil Robertson. He's really struggling with form and that, you know, and this is the type of tournament that can get your season back on track, you know, going into, we've got the Scottish Home Nations and then we've got the Masters, so we're looking forward. But, you know, as for Mark Allen, you know, he's just so happy in his game. Every part of his game is solid, his safety. We always talk about how good his positional players, and you mentioned his long potting's back, so, you know, he's got to be one of the favourites for the tournament.
He took something off you here, Ron, because he likes to get the old hot mugs out. You were the first person I ever saw do that kind of thing to keep the hands warm.
Yeah, it's hard when you go out there and your hands are freezing because it's all touch and feel in the hands. So yes, a cup of hot water just does the job, you know.
Yeah, an intriguing first frame, like Jim said. Could have potentially gone either way, but the first one on the board is for Mark Allen. And for Ding Junhui, he hasn't been, almost, in fact, you've had two different stories, Jim, where you have Mark Allen, the last couple of years, a real resurgence, and Ding seems to have tailed off by comparison to the player we know he can be.
Yeah, he is struggling for form, and he's one of these players that he's a heavy scorer. When he gets in the balls, he wins a lot of frame in one visits, and that's not been happening to him, for him, so far this season. So, you know, he needs to get going quite early in this match to settle. But look at Mark Allen there, totally focused, you know. Fancies the job for sure.
He does not give a lot away, it has to be said. Back when he was 6-1 down against Ding, actually we were thinking to ourselves, you know, is this going to be close to a whitewash? And then just the incredible happened. The referee is just speaking to Mark. Curious to know what is actually happening, but we can establish what's happening by handing back to our commentary team once again and say good afternoon to Alan McManus and Dave Hendon.
Yes, thank you, Rads. It's a big afternoon here, and hopefully you can hear us loud and clear now. Mark Allen off to a terrific start. Yeah, Rob Spencer just can't quite hear what he's saying. He's spoken to both players, but anyway, Mark Allen just sort of picking up where he left off from last year with that terrific 67. Very clean start. Of course, he comes here full of confidence, having just won the Champion of Champions, and all the memories as well. I'm sure walking into the Barbican today just came flooding back from last year. Not just the final, but the whole run that he was on here. Had that dramatic semi-final win, didn't he, over Jack Lazowski as well. So good memories and a good start. And Ding, of course, who's battled through the qualifiers. We heard he's a little under the weather, but he's also up against someone who's just won the last tournament, who's feeling really good about his own game. I think he found the right balance in Bolton, the Champion of Champions. He maybe, as the season went on, just played the grinding game a little more than the attacking game, and he got caught up in that epic semi-final, of course, with Mark Selby at the Crucible. But in Bolton, he was on the front foot. He looked really good. And, you know, he beat Judd Trump, who has been the player of the season thus far, 10-3. So a real thumping victory.
Yeah, Mark has clearly embraced the tactical side of the game in the last 2 or 3 seasons. Something that you have to do, I think, these days if you're going to be a top player, be around the top of the rankings for any length of time. It's all part of it. And that's a poor one by Ding, so another Well, probably better than half chance for Mark.
One.
Yeah, once again, good crisp pot. And lots of reds in the open.
Because we're back to this format. It was reintroduced last year, the tiered system. There's been various formats. But looking back at all of them, he hasn't actually lost his first match in the UK Championship since 2012. So 11 years since he actually lost his opening round match, whatever the format. Obviously, players want to win every tournament, but there is something about these
5.
historic majors they've grown up watching that maybe they just put in a little bit more preparation. He visited a local primary school yesterday, actually, went to see the youngsters there to sort of spread the snooker word, which was great to see.
Six.
Yeah, making good use of the brand new cloth there, getting lots of revs on the cue ball. Key shot, this. Yeah, nicely played. After that season, player of the season, last campaign. I don't think he played as well as he did in that Champion of Champions victory a couple of weeks ago. It was as good as I've seen him in a long, long time, including the whole of last season.
Just a word on the qualifiers. I was down in Leicester for the last 4 days. It was very dramatic. We had 80 centuries over the course of just 6 days play, including a maximum from Junhui, so that will count towards the £15,000 high break prize.
That's one area that's changed in Mark's game. He didn't go into the
90.
main cluster of reds. If he's still on this, he's a wee bit fortunate, but how does he control the cue ball?
20.
Yeah, that'll do nicely. Just a bit of noise there, bang of a chair or something on his delivery. Didn't quite get through at that time. It's one of those ones he would love it again. The shot back and get the cue ball motoring down this end. So think the one with the rest, positionally, has got a bit more to offer. Far from easy, but as long as he gets the pot, he's in complete control of the early running. Get the pot, whatever will be, will be.
Okay. 24.
Has he got enough room to get the cue through the gap? Just about. Not a lot to do with the cue ball either.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of admirable qualities as a player, but no doubt Bottle, he's right up there. The big shots he doesn't shrink from. And now he's got himself back in pretty good position here. And Ding has just been a spectator so far, hasn't he?
32.
Remember, it is 10-6 to Ding on the head-to-head. He did beat Allen last season in a double-session match at the Tour Championship, 10-5. That was at a time when Allen's form had just faded a little as the season went on. I must say, it is great to see a full house here on day one. It's only 3 years, isn't it, since we played in lockdown with not a single spectator. That eerie late night final, 1 a.m, Robertson and Trump. And that applause button and all of that, thankfully, consigned to history.
He's loving this cloth. Look at that cue ball. I mean, even there, just a soft screw shot. You could see the cue ball arc. It's that time of year, and we always kind of talk about it. We're now into the deep of winter in the UK, but it suits these players in terms of the way tables play. There again, it just glides on and on. It's all about, yes, the pot, but cue ball looks like it's going into those two reds, the full face off them, off a cushion. Well, first mistake then.
46.
What's Ding got for us? Decent chance this. Yes, he's been frozen out. Let's see how smoothly he can cue this straight red to corner. Not a good sign. Hit right across that one. He's got this thing that, now isn't he? You see it here, sort of pushes the cue ball to the right as we see it. He's got this thing, he looks down about things very early in matches these days.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk at the qualifiers, understandably, about the fact the guys coming through will be red hot, raring to go, matches under their belt. But it's just a very different environment playing in that full table setup. You know, not a lot of spectators, to coming here against the real big guns. And we'll see, obviously, as the 4 days go on in the first round, how many of the top 16 do make progress.
The shot that Ding played there, he's offered this half chance again for Mark. He needn't have had to play that. That was a sign of impatience. Ding there should have gone side cushion and rest on that red. He's given Mark a chance absolutely for free here. No reason for it. That's not a good sign if you're a Ding fan.
Well, again, this pace at the table is catching him out.
4.
Just to say, actually, I was looking back at some of the records. I don't know if the two players have ever played back-to-back matches in the UK at the same venue. Of course, this was the final last year. I could find one that was the
Mark Allen 4.
1979 final of the Masters, actually. It was Perry Mans against Alex Higgins, and then they played the following year in the first round at the Masters. I don't know if that's the only one. The only thing I would say, there were a couple of prelim matches, so it wasn't the first match in the year after they played in the final.
Yeah, the draw was made on Thursday by Stephen Hallworth and Leo Scullion. And there was just we were all talking beforehand, oh yeah, Allen or draw Ding, it just kind of almost was meant to be. And here we are, but at the moment, Allen looking really good, and Ding has done nothing yet, really, in a frame and a half.
It was a bit risky by Mark, wasn't it? Trusting in the table fitters. Of course, day one, these tables have probably been in situ for 48 hours, something like that, so they haven't quite settled as yet. I say settled, of course, I actually mean literally settling. That's what, it takes time for. Yeah, a great starter by Ding. Takes time with gravity and all that, the tables just to settle in, the slates to bed into the wooden frame, all that stuff. And certainly the bed of the cloth looks beautiful. Now, what has he got as far as a red? Just a red to far corner.
8. Junhui 8.
Well, he should be sharp on the back of qualifying this last week, but he doesn't look it at the moment.
See Mark Allen concerned that he left the gap, which he has. And that's brilliant.
Yeah, terrific pot, responsive cloth, but I don't think even on this one he can slice the black in and any sort of contact on the red. Let's see. Nah, it was just medicine kind of time. He knew he couldn't get on the red, so in the break, but he's got some foothold at last in a frame.
8. Junhui 8.
will not do. That ain't good enough, I'm afraid. That he did
Quiet
it
as possible,
early on
please.
in this frame. He left the safety shot shy, well shy of the baulk cushion, and Mark picked him off. It's not good enough at the moment by Ding. He's got to find deep baulk, otherwise this will happen.
1.
Yeah, Ding knows Alan has to earn his chances. He can't be handed them. He's in too good form in general. Super confident coming here. See all the faces there on the background, the top 16 seeds. Zhang Ander's one of them. Of course, he beat Ding at the International Championship, won the tournament. That's why Ding got knocked out of the top 16 and had to qualify in the first place.
Yes, once again, end of break, but he just looks more in tune with what he's trying to achieve out there in comparison with Ding. 2 or 3 times now he's been in that sort of position. Make sure you get the pot and stay in some control of the table. It's not very good though. Defence has been watertight of late. That wasn't.
No, and he will have, of course, seen up close how Ding struggled so far. Again, he wants to keep him in trouble, not open any doors. It's only early in the match, but these early frames can define how the match will go. And Ding has got a sort of reputation sometimes for his head going down early if things aren't going well.
Smartly just buying himself another shot here. Well, he thinks he is. He didn't mean to leave the possible red. But I do think also a few shots that Ding's played here, the last 2 pots he's missed them thick. That's the miss on a brand new cloth. This is brand new threads they're on, and that's the typical miss. There's part of this game where as a top player you go out there knowing you're playing on a brand new cloth. You've got to be mindful of it. It's as if he's gone out there not really thinking deeply about it. You've got to do that. The cloth plays so different. For the first couple of frames, it's really alien to them. You know, even these guys, they only get their own tables covered 2, 3, maybe 4 times maximum in a year. There's another one, the thick miss. What damage? This time he's got a good chance. Got to make hay here.
Yes, it's not quite now or never, but if he doesn't take this chance, then you do slightly fear for him early in this match. He played really nicely in those qualifiers. He had 3 centuries. Beat Daniel Wells and Robbie Williams to get here.
Well.
And remember, just one subplot as well. This is the cut-off for the Masters. Now, Ding, by qualifying, has actually gone back into 16th place above Tom Ford, who is a seed. He's not guaranteed his points unless he wins a match. So that's another thing. You won't be thinking of it now, but it's in the background here.
Straight away he's lost his cue ball from the absolute perfect position. He's lost this cue ball again, so, and the shoulders drooped, and as did the head.
8.
Good recovery. Now, has he got the cue power to go deep and get this cue ball making the journey? Not bad, the fact that he can play this with hand.
15.
careful here, making use of the brand new cloth, the slippy knuckles on the pockets, just dead weight. The typical miss here would be thick.
Sixties.
Yeah, good shot. Taking these nicely. This is the one. Let's see how precise he can get his cue ball here. Anything around straight in the yellow, it should be job done.
Well, for a frame and a half, he did nothing really. Mark Allen had just struggled with the pace of the table a little bit. Not in the first frame, funnily enough, but in the second, he's just been losing his way a little bit.
25.
And this now must make clearance for Ding to arrive in this match.
$28. $32.
All eyes on him. In this back Barbican, he needs 3 colours for 1 each.
37.
I honestly think he's really struggling. His action hasn't been what you would like to see so far. He's got to somehow get this finished. He's struggling with his cue ball.
43.
Yeah. By no means ideal on this.
Got the same shot, didn't he? To win against Zhang Anda to the opposite pocket last week. Can he do it again?
The black is in. That's all that matters in the end. It could have been 2-0. Mark Allen had a lot of chances in that frame, but Ding Junhui joins battle with that 50 clearance. It's 1 each. Now then, table 2 is Mark Allen and Fang Zhengyi, and Fan, one of 8 Chinese players here, and has won the opening frame against the three times UK champion, sorry, twice UK champion, I'll get it right, 1999 and 2002, Mark Williams. Actually, the last player to win the 3 in a season, the 3 Triple Crown titles. 02-03, he won the UK, the Masters and the World Championship. The fact it's been so long just tells you what a difficult feat it is. But Fan, of course, is a ranking event winner. He won the European Masters a couple of seasons ago. And comes here, as the qualifiers do, with good matches under his belt. That's live on Discovery Plus. You can watch both tables here at the UK Championship live for the whole 9 days. First day of the televised phase of the UK Snooker Championship, and just a brilliant atmosphere here in York. We've had various venues. We started at the Tower Circus in Blackpool. We went to the Preston Guildhall, of course, for a couple of decades. Then we came here. The Barbican closed for a while. We had to go to Telford. There was that 1 year in Milton Keynes that we won't talk about again. But this is the established home of this tournament. Slight strange noise, that. Someone maybe a bit overzealous with the heating or something. While we wait for the players to return, we can just focus on the draw. Of course, the winner of this match will play Tom Ford or Noppen Senkarm. Tom in the top 16 for the first time. But as I say, he has to win that match tonight, otherwise he's going to drop out. He's taken 22 years to get in. He would drop out if he didn't win that match tonight against Senkarm. Mark Williams, Fang Zhengyi, that's 1-0 to Fan on table 2. Karen Wilson against Jamie Clark, who of course he beat Williams here last year. Mark Selby, Mark Joyce, that's going to be an interesting battle. I think Mark Joyce really toughed it out to see off Joe Perry in the qualifiers. Barry Hawkins, Ben Wollaston. It's not good to see Ben here. He's had a tough time of it of late, and he won 3 matches to qualify. Jack Lazowski against Jamie Jones, and the winner of that will play either Judd Trump or Pang Zhengzhu. It could be Trump Lazowski, potentially in the last 16. As Ding returns here. Happy with that clearance. He maybe wasn't in complete control, but they kept going in. We've been told he's not feeling great in himself, so obviously that's not ideal for such a big match. But hopefully his battling qualities will kick in as we just wait for Mark Allen. But as I said, it is just great to be back here this time of year. I mean, York's a beautiful city any time of year, but with the Christmas market and just the great buzz around the city, snooker's coming to town as well, and it's a nice place for everyone to spend 9 days. And of course, at the end of it, someone's going to walk away with that trophy and £250,000, and they'll be on that golden roll of honour that began with Patsy Fagan in 1977. In the early days, it wasn't a ranking event. It was only open to UK-based players. But 1984, that all changed, and a lot of you watching, for however long you've been watching, whether you go back to those days or more recently, will I'm sure have your own memories of this wonderful event.
Okay. Thank you. The third frame. Junhui to break.
So Ding on the scoreboard, 1 each. Remember, this is best of 11 to reach the last 16 of the UK Championship.
Cause for alarm. It should be straightforward, one cushion into the side of the cluster.
Yeah, I'm sure Alan will be aware that traditionally this is where Ding comes good this tournament. He won it for the first time as an 18-year-old in 2005. He won it again in 2009, and then a decade on, 2019, in what was a terrific final with Steve Maguire.
Top quality, that. It's unlucky to leave that gap, isn't it? Just see how confidently Ding can strike this. He's been short with a few of these shots so far. He's kind of a wee bit short again. I think there's something, especially early on in matches, that every player's got to be aware of. The cushions play soft. You've got to be a wee bit more forceful with your cue ball. See there, Mark is injecting more pace in it, so the cue ball's going to make the journey. He's got the upper hand just at the moment. Ding, I think, just looks a wee bit tentative.
Yeah, we know he's no mug, but he likes to keep his hands warm with that hot water.
That's better pace. You've got to reach bulk, get it into bulk. Even if it comes off the cushion, that's fine. Sometimes you get rewarded for that. Make sure you're on the heavy side of the safety shot. Giving Mark a bit of a problem. It feels like Mark Allen's the strong favourite today, but actually Ding's had a better season, hasn't he, than Mark, if you take away that Champion of Champions victory. Big match this for Mark in terms of that 1 year list, the Grand Prix and all that goes with it, and there's a mistake. And quite a bad one. Number 30 at the moment, isn't he, Mark Allen, on that? So £15,000 at stake, pounds and points today. So it's a big match on that score.
Yeah, it's another subplot, isn't it? That player series looming into view. A lot of things to keep the players on their toes these days. All about winning matches. Now, Ding could have been 2-0 down quite easily, but chance here to get going at the start of frame 3.
One. Six. Seven.
If there's one shot that Ding looks a wee bit suspect these days, it's this one. A bit of pace.
12.
Mid-distance red, and got to work the cue ball.
$30.
The delivery's a bit quicker than it ever was, wasn't it? But a good pot, good cue ball.
Eighteen. Nice.
Well, everyone revels in Ding's break building ability. He's actually 8th on the all-time list of Centurions, 632 to his name. See the black out of the picture right now. Pink not great either.
24. $25.
Again, just a bit quick on delivery. And that ain't the bad shot there. It's the one before it where he
Things
lost
only
his cue ball
25.
and it's not like him. All right, as Dave said, pink no good, black out of commission, but it was a decent chance that to put a huge dent in this frame.
Yeah, and now the blues run into the reds as well, so that doesn't really help anybody. Callum might be able to open things here.
Cheers, man. Thanks. 1.
Yeah, that looked all bad as the cue ball made its way to that corner, but there you see the angle on the green. It's not bad at all. One good pot, automatically going to be on reds.
It's kind of what I was saying earlier about if there's a big shot to play, Mark Allen will play it and usually get it. You know, his temperament is a big, big part, of course, of his success. As indeed his close cue ball control, which will be a plus here if he can now
5.
put a decent sized break together.
Yeah, he has a plant on as well if he wants it.
10. $11. $60. 17.
That's the difference at the moment. Yeah, I guess he's sort of trailing in the match, as it were, Mark, at the moment, but he looks the stronger of the two by a distance, in my opinion. Cue ball is far superior to what Ding's showing us at the moment.
22. 23.
gamble, isn't it? The three reds. Great shot. Great shot. That was the value. Got his reward for playing the correct shot, basically.
28.
Far from out the woods, but at least he's got some control of the frame now.
$29.
And again, a mini gamble. And I think that was a good play as well. It was worth it. Just trying to make something happen, spring all three of those into the open, but yeah, worth a play at this as well. Difficult to play an aggressive safety shot. So might as well take the pot on. Brilliant.
$34. $35.
Yeah, it might be worth just holding
Quiet
the
as you
spot.
can, please.
Just hold the spot, put it on the black spot, would probably help him. The blue, that is.
$40. $41. $46.
Yeah, terrific work on the cue ball. He might have some value in playing the pot here, dead weight. And just think about putting Ding in trouble. Dead weight red has probably got cover in or over. It's one of those, actually. As long as the in off in the right corner's not on, I think this is worth playing. It's actually one of those. If he were to miss it and hang the red over the pocket and get covered, Ding's in all sorts of trouble. Just looking at it now, is it worth the play? It just depends on his cue ball. If he can get his cue ball deep in that corner, that's the shot. The pot doesn't become all that important, actually. Good shot.
47.
And now he's in total control.
Ground ball, thank you. Mark Allen. 47.
He's annoyed at that one. He could have got Ding in quite big trouble, but wasn't to be. It's all going to come down to this last red now. That's the problem with the last shot Alan played now. He's given Ding the chance to put him in a snooker.
Yeah, I just don't know why he didn't roll up to the brown. Not dead weight, but just the right half of the brown. The blue was a guaranteed cover. there's no great safety shot from this, so this is a half chance for Ding. Most early on day one, Pocket's playing, you would think, a wee bit easier. So this has got potential.
One.
Well, can he make another steal? He took the last frame, of course, on the black. Well, Callum was in complete control of this frame, wasn't it? Until the break ended and he played that back
8.
safety.
Ten.
Yeah, it's even better, the brown, where it is. You'd think it would be guaranteed nice on blue. And no major problem
30.
getting in behind the pink. It's a huge target.
Seventeen. $22.
Well, there's no doubt that it's the close frames that make the psychological difference in matches. Ding won the second on the black. He needs this pink to take the lead. In all the way.
28 on the frame.
Well, it could
Ding's
easily
under.
have been 3-0 to Mark Allen. He was in control of the last frame. He was in control of this frame. But they've both gone to Ding, who edges in front with 1 to play before the interval at 2-1. Yeah, very dramatic couple of steals there from Ding, and Mark Allen kind of looked a bit resigned as he was sitting in his chair. He expected Ding to pop that pink, and he duly did. So, a very interesting start. It's a bit like a continuation from their final last year. Now, we saw the top half of the draw earlier. This is the bottom half where the 7-times champion Ronnie O'Sullivan will play Anthony McGill. They played recently, actually, out in China. Robert Milkins up against Tepchire and Nu. That could be a very speedy one, I think. Tepchire was very eye-catching again in qualifying. John Higgins against Joe O'Connor. Higgins, of course, trying to keep his top 16 position by the end of this season as well. Neil Robertson is having a difficult season. He's not been past the last 64 of a ranking event. He's up against Zhou Yulong, who's always dangerous. Sean Murphy, Hossein Vafai is a big standout tie, I think, in this round. The only way is Essex for Ali Carter and Matt Selt. Zhang Anda now in the top 16 against Elliot Slesser. And Luca Brissell, the world champion, who's not done much since he got to the final in Shanghai, is up against Yuan Sijun. Mark Allen has scored 53 more points in this match, but he's 2-1 down because Ding has stolen a frame on the black and 1 on the pink to lead 2-1. There's 1 more frame to come before the mid-session interval on day 1 here at the packed Barbican Centre in York. You can see people taking their seats. They don't want to miss any of the action, and I'm sure it'll be like this the whole week. But Mark Allen, as I say, he looked in control of frame 2, he looked in control of frame 3, but he's gone behind here. Credit to Ding for the 2 little dishes he made. Mark's just going to replenish his hot water, I think. Here we go.
Yeah, sorry, Dave, just thinking back to that Champion of Champions final, he was 3-1 in front. He could easily have been 3-1 behind, couldn't he, Mark Allen? So these early frames that Ding has won could, in the end, this afternoon, be very important indeed.
Ding also getting a hot drink of his own. It's that time of year, isn't it?
Thank you. The 4th frame. Mark Allen to break.
So Allen has to just focus now on trying to level up a 2-2. Started the match really well with that 67 in the opener. Just on those couple of clearances that Ding has made. It's an asset that you need to have if you're ever going to be a top player. You can play a bit iffy, a bit edgy and not look great for a couple of frames. Then all of a sudden you get a 2 or 3 red clearance that's far from a given. And something kicks in, the concentration, whatever it is, you think, right, this is a moment. So he's did well as Ding to make those 2 clearances. Inject some pace into this because he's going to be half ball roughly, contact. Yeah, too thick. He's looked a wee bit vulnerable with that type of shot. Not saying it was easy, it was far from it. But a good quality safety shot from Mark has earned him a decent chance.
One. Six. 7. Thank you. I'm not sure.
Well, in general, Alan has played well in this match. It's not like he's been missing sitters. He's missed really one ball in live play. So
40.
if he can put together a useful break and he's got the black on its spot in this frame, then 2-2 he would take right now at the interval. That's the thing, coming here, having won a tournament, there's no sort of concern about his game. You look at Neil Robertson, maybe the opposite's the case with him. He's struggling for results this season. You often hear it said a player's due a win, but you're only due a win if you win one. You're not guaranteed anything. It's been 4 years since Ding won a ranking event. It was this very tournament in 2019.
Yeah, it was the dawn of a new decade almost, wasn't it? That late in 19, you thought Ding's going to kick on the way he won that final against Stephen Maguire. Was the Ding of old, but it hasn't materialised.
23.
Now, key shot. The most difficult cannon in the world, should be okay. Play this correctly, chance to win the frame for 2-2.
30. $30. 36. 37. 39. 40.
Yeah, there's that pot success, 97%. You would expect by this stage he'd be well in front, but it's not always about missing balls, it's about the odd safety shot that's gone awry as well. Well, this is not nasty now, the black going back on its spot.
Yeah, and the two frames that Ding has won so far will be playing in Mark's mind. Against some players, depending on the state of the match, he might play this red along the cushion, and he still might. But you don't want to lose 3 frames from well in front, and that's why I think wisely this time he's just playing back to balk. So a disappointing end to what looked a good chance. That's good play by Ding. Leave a tempter. Probably won't rush in and take it on because he doesn't have to, but leave it there. That's good play. It's good, you know, that match play thing you talk about. That's what that is. Just leave him it. Just in the off chance he plays it and you get a chance to win the frame. It's probably not going to happen. Good reason, not interested in it at all, hasn't even looked at it yet. Until now, he's having a think. Okay, great effort, wasn't it? And you can't blame him for, you know, trying to be aggressive. It's a wee bit unlucky to leave the red. Now then, for the first time in this match, Mark is under proper pressure.
Yeah, just caught that near jaw. Looked like a good chance, 47 in front already to make it 2-2. Red to middle for Ding. Oh, just stays out. Well, it's only the first afternoon. It's already a little bit tense, a little bit edgy here. A few oohs and ahs from the crowd. See the red tried to go down the pocket.
This is where he's going to need that famed bottle. I don't think he can leave the cue ball safe here. You've got to just play this all in, all the eggs in the basket. Yeah, brilliant pot.
Five. 6.
Well, you could argue he should be ahead at the interval, but right now he's just determined that he won't be behind. It was an engrossing final last year, and it's been similar really in the first round 12 months on. This red should be 2-2 and sets it up nicely for when the players return after the mid-session interval. Mark Allen was very proud to win this UK Championship for the first time last year. He does not want an early exit as he attempts to defend the title. Ding, of course, trying to re-establish himself in the top 16 and really just get his campaign off and running well and truly with what would be a big win if he could come through today. But right now, there's nothing to choose between them.
Mark Allen 30.
So the 2023 UK Championship off and running with a rematch of last year's final, and at the interval the two players cannot be split. Mark Allen for a frame and a half was well and truly on top. Ding stole frame 2 with a good 50 clearance to the black. He stole frame 3 with a good clearance to the pink, but Mark Allen in bits and pieces really.
But it wouldn't be playing on his mind. I don't think Ding will be thinking about that during this match. You know?
Well, the players are like they've got out there already, so let's hand back to our commentary team of Alan McManus and Dave Hendon.
So the players have had their 15-minute break and we're underway again. 2-2. Ding with 2 real steals, a black ball and a pink ball win. Mark Allen either side dominated the 2 frames that he won. So it's effectively now best of 7. Traditional now in a lot of tournaments for the defending champion to kick us off, and I guess it does put a bit more pressure on. You know, it's the first match, the tournament's just starting, and there's a lot of expectation on you. I'm sure when Alan saw the draw, he wasn't exactly punching the air, but he's played well overall without quite closing out those second and third frames when he had the chance. Total points, he tells his own story. He's 130 in front, Alan. It's kind of almost a couple of frames, but of course it was the 2 close ones he lost that made the difference.
Yeah, Noden in the trade is a good Baden. Good shot, good cue ball. But as ever, you never quite know where the Reds are going to finish. And that is as bad as it could have been. Comfortable starter for Ding. Every chance of getting that black on its spot. Just calculating, obviously the pink spot is covered, so if he goes red-pink here, that will go on the black spot if he wants it.
7.
I think there's no doubt if Ding can find his scoring boots, Alan's got problems. So far, that 50 clearance in frame 2, Ding's best break.
Is he playing this with lots of right-hand side cushion first and flick the red? No, it's gone wrong.
30.
Now the black looks on, but it's thinner in real time or real play, if you know what I mean. It's one of those, it's nasty with the rest. And he can't bail out with his cue ball, so he takes this on, which it looks like he is. It's got to go. Dead weight.
Junhui. 30.
Yeah, and that was just a horrible attempt, wasn't it? Let's be honest. I mean, barely made half the journey.
So Alan gets the chance to get the black back on its spot. Yeah, he did the positive thing trying to get on the black in the first place, but as you say, it was just a nasty old shot he left himself.
Clever shot there, trying course, the black itself is not tied up, but it's not on, so thought better try to make inroads with the pink. And this is now a terrific chance.
Yes, he said in the interview before play that he's not really a sort of student of the history of the game, but only 3 players have ever defended this title: Steve Davis, Stephen Hendry and Ronnie O'Sullivan. So I suspect that's a list Mark Allen would quite like to join. That's about as elite a pantheon as you can get. Just a bit of noise in the background because the other matches come to the interval. But I'm sure it's different this year. The sort of wall that we see at the Crucible is here this year. I'm sure last year there was just a sort of smaller wall. You could see what was happening on the other table. So there'll be less disturbance. There'll be a bit of noise, but the people leaving for drinks and so on won't be in Allen's eye line so much.
21. Quiet as you can, please. 28.
Of course, we'll find out over the next 4 days of this first round whether we'll get quite a few upsets, or upsets on paper anyway. But I don't think there's going to be that many, just simply because of the fact that it's the round of 32. It's got that feel about it, you know, guys who don't play until Tuesday, like John Higgins, won't even be here until probably Monday. So there's only a few players around the venue itself, and it feels it's a bigger occasion each match. Usually at the UK, down in recent years anyway, there's a lot of hubbub going on in the players' room and backstage. Not so this year. So every match, I think, as a consequence of that, feels like quite a big occasion. Of course, the big occasion, the big players come out to play.
That's the thing about the Roll of Honour. You look back at the previous winners, there's very few shock winners of this UK Championship.
42.
Probably less so than actually the World Championship. People will remember Doug Mountjoy in 1988. He was sort of falling down the rankings, but he was a former winner of the tournament. Anyway, fast forward a mere 35 years, Mark Allen with a chance here to make it 3-2.
Yeah, another sign there, the fact that it looks like his
49.
His cue ball is back under the sort of control that we're used to seeing from him. This has been pinpoint. Handy lead, more than handy, 36. So yeah, here's the mistake by Ding. Made only half the journey. So this black, another red black. He'll be back in front. Defending champion.
58.
Yes, the black. And Ding needs a snooker. We've seen in the last year the resolve that Mark Allen has. He lost a couple of tough frames in this match, 65. But there was no reaction from him. Just accepted it. Didn't like it, but accepted it. And we move on. In general, his game is good. He's won the last tournament. Champion of Champions in Bolton.
66.
He said he'd felt a little bit lost. His one of his long-time associates and former coaches, Joe Short, had passed away, hit him hard. And another much-trusted friend and guide, Terry Griffiths, not in the best of health either.
73.
Mark can't consult with him right now, so he's been just looking to kind of get going again this 74. Season after the glorious campaign he had last year. And, of course, he's done that now. He's won a tournament, and that makes him very dangerous.
80. 80.
This is good stuff. He has a chance to now make the first century of the final stages this year. We had 80 in qualifying.
'86. 88.
Remember, had 6 in the final last year. Ding made 4. Mark Allen here 2.
'91.
And for this tournament alone, if you look at the all-time century break makers, Ding is in 6th place, Mark Allen 7th with 63. So they've made plenty over the years. Surely going to be another one here. Mark Allen coming out after the interval and stepping it up.
100.
It's like he's saying to Ding, right, the bar's been raised, you're going to have to stick with me now. .106 from Mark Allen, the first century in York this year. He moves back in front against Ding Junhui at 3-2. 6 the target, remember, for victory. That's his 17th century break of this season, and a very timely one. Just looking, as I say to Ding, okay, second half, I'm going to play better. You're going to have to do the same if you're going to beat me today. Of course, last year he played Jordan Brown in the first round, which was quite an awkward one for the two of them. Tonight, Kyron Wilson against Jamie Clark. Kyron has not had the best of seasons. He wasn't at the Champion of Champions. He had to sit that one out, which he would not have enjoyed, of course. And Jamie Clark has good memories of York. He beat Mark Williams here last year. We'll be on air with the studio team from 8:45 CET. That's 7:15 in the UK. And on Discovery Plus, Tom Ford will be playing his first match as a member of the top 16. He's up against Noppen Sengham. And the vagaries of the rankings, he might have to win that to stand a chance of... Well, he will have to win it, actually, to stand a chance of being at the Masters.
Just Ding.
So Mark Allen has made his 17th century of the season, the first here in York this year, to lead Ding Junhui 3-2. Ding was in first, wasn't he? Just left with that nasty shot on the black. He got nowhere near the pot. And Mark Allen did the rest, 106. Lovely arena, this Barbican. First staged the UK Championship in 2001. They had to take a break. They refurbished the building in the sort of mid part of that decade, but we came back here, and it's whenever anyone says, oh, I've qualified for York, they talk about the city as much as they do the actual venue. It's just a lovely part of the world. But of course they all want to be here a week tomorrow in the final.
Thank you. Mark Allen to break.
Mark Allen then leads 3-2.
It's unlike Mark to play quite a sloppy break-off. Doing one break of 50 so far to show for his efforts.
1.
Yeah, good red, good pot. But just to say again, he's looked a little sort of unconvincing when he's been in sort of close. That's better. 2 good shots to get the frame underway from his side. That's better.
6. 7.
But his cue ball has just let him down again. Just top side of straight. Devil's own job to get on the next red.
Fourteen. $50.
Okay, Cannon the right hand wing ball. If you drift past it, you might be still on one. He's still on one just about, but it's going to be a thin cut.
22. $23. Rambo.
It's disappointing, isn't it? Eventually, he just lost his way. It wasn't the best last shot he played either, really. So you could see the disappointment from Ding there.
Quiet as possible, please.
Yeah, it was a quality safety shot.
Quiet, please. There's still a match on this side.
Yeah, Rob Spencer rather forcefully just reminding the spectators coming back in on the other side to just be as quiet as they can. It's a good problem to have, though. It's packed here and people are taking their seats again on the other side. A lot of talk about the format, you know, did change. As Mark Allen himself said, he preferred the best of 17s. I think players do generally, but of course, if you look around, the reason they're able to earn this money is the audience. And if the audience want to see finishes, then this format obviously suits them.
So, obviously no reds near a cushion. He has the 2 cushion escape. He's got to be mindful, though, of leaving a free ball. He's not playing the single red. He's playing the line. Sorry, my mistake. He is, but
Foul.
playing the single red, it's obviously a very small target, so he could be here for a few shots. I suppose the good news, the shot he is playing is unlikely to leave a free ball behind yellow.
What? Yeah, of course we can, yeah. We check it, does it? Yeah, thank you. I knew you could hit the brown full ball.
He's asked to check with Deshislava Boshalova, who's on the marker's desk with the freeze frame
Half
technology.
ball this way and towards the cushion, diagonal. Half ball diagonal that way, towards the cushion. Just a touch towards the cushion. Yeah.
Okay. Mark?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Thank
done
you.
with the minimum of fuss.
Foul and a miss. Ding Junhui 4. Yeah. Yeah, ding. Foul and a miss. Ding Junhui 4.
Well, the free ball, but it won't be taken. It'll just be play from there, please. Probably. The only thing, it's the escape's easier from, back to where it was originally, I think, is the call.
And it was off, because I think he was actually on his spot then. I think it's off his spot ever so slightly. Yeah, yeah. Okay, Mark. Yeah. Yeah. Ding. Yeah, thank you. Foul and a miss.
Obviously, he's just trying to glance off the red. Well, look at that. Try doing that
Junhui
twice in a
4.
row. It's
Free
exactly
ball.
what he's done.
Back.
Sort of seeing the funny side kind of through gritted teeth, I think. 16 points. He doesn't want to leave a red on, so he'll accept giving points away. Ding
okay.
is accepting those points in return. 5th attempt, this.
Foul and a miss. Ding Junhui 4. Back. Yeah.
Not anywhere near the record yet, which is held, if that's the word, by Stuart Bingham. 16 misses in a row. In a frame he actually won, eventually, with a big break.
Yeah. No? Let's check it again. So I can get Desi to get it. Yeah. No, she'll have it from the first one. Yeah.
Half ball this way.
That way? Yeah. Yeah, no, it's all right. It's okay.
Tiniest touch more this way. Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. Ding. Thanks. Thank you, Desi.
Change of plan, it would seem.
Yeah, nice piece of improv, wasn't it? That's a decent result. just do not understand. How can he take that red on? No guarantee of getting on the black. The pot's about a 1 in maybe 3. I'm astonished at that. Honestly, that is such a tough shot to play in any circumstances. You wouldn't play that in practice.
One.
Yeah, that was close to staying out. He stayed right down here, didn't he? Just shaved the jaw.
Yeah, that shot that Ding took on. I'm sure Mark would have been sitting in the chair thinking, sort of looking, thinking, what shot is he playing here? Because he would have seen the leave and he would have gone back to his own chair thinking, well, I've had a result here because all he's got is a sort of defensive safety shot. But I don't even think that there was nothing to do with aggression with that shot. It was almost a kind of half, not giving up, but just a shot that you can't play.
It's
a wee bit different if the cue ball's not going to can another reds and it's a natural path onto a colour. You think, right, okay, but that was far from guaranteed being on the black. That was terrific. He knew that topping it through, he wasn't going to get the cue ball anywhere, so he took a bit of a gamble. Blue, potentially black waiting. So if this goes in, it should be a decent chance to win the frame. He's in control at the moment as Mark, and Ding has lost his way, I'm afraid.
Yeah, if it comes down to who's prepared to really sort of get into the weeds and tough it out, then you got to fancy Allen, and I think we've seen that in this frame.
20.
But we also know he's scoring. He's just made a century, and it's in his hands to make another frame-winning break here, and maybe just now making his move in this contest.
$30. 30.
Yeah, the other thing, just again going back to that shot that Ding took on, it sort of tells Mark that at least he'll read it this way. He'll think, Ding doesn't fancy this. That's the way he'll see it. For once, his cue ball lets him down badly.
38.
Yeah, he shouldn't have needed it, but what a recovery.
Yeah, a couple of shots ago when he lost ideal position, I was watching him, there wasn't a flicker of reaction at all. He didn't, you know, some players would have stood there looking at the heavens, looking at anything, blaming something else. He just, okay, not on the red ideally, but I'm going to pot it anyway. We carry on.
Cheers, Mark. Thank you. 45. $52. $53. $60. Mark Allen 60.
So, the break ends at 60. Now, he's already lost 2 frames in this match that he would have felt he should have won. Ding stole them with good clearances, because there's only 17 points in it with all the fouls that went on earlier.
Just at the moment, I just think that thing is, it's not a bad thing sometimes to be prepared to go out on your shield. But I do think some of the shots that Ding is taking on are from frustration rather than optimism or aggression. Mark will be quite happy to see that, because he can keep Ding pinned in here. And this is all sorts of trouble, this safety shot. And it's a frame he badly needs to win, because the way he's played today, 4-2 behind against the man of the moment, be a big ask. Here's a half chance. Let's see the pace that he plays it. You would think he played the cue ball in behind the black. That's the percentage play. Does he hang pace off, fancying the pot and position? Yeah, he hung the pace off. And he's got his reward. Terrific shot. One good positional shot here. I think we have a new favourite to pinch another. But he's so out of touch. It's unbelievable, honestly. That's a shot. Yes, you want to be on the open red of the two, but on balance, you overplay the cue ball because you know you've got the one near the baulk cushion. He's underhit that by probably a couple of feet, and it was a natural with nothing to do with the cue ball. More worrying signs.
Ding Junhui. 7.
I mean, Ding in his pomp there, when he lands on the pink, you can forget it. Just rack him, because he would never make that mistake.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, it's another good one from Alan. Snooker and Ding on both reds.
Foul.
Wow.
Ding Junhui 4.
Well, obviously catching the blue was not intentional, but to make contact like that, so he's gone in off. Completely unexpected. He was in control of this frame, he was going along nicely on a break of 60, just left himself slightly awkward on a red to the right middle, which he missed.
What does Ding play here? Does he go full-blooded and hold for bulk colour? Or hedge bets and come down this end? He should be holding it. Yeah, well played.
1.
Again, under normal circumstances here, you'd think just rack him up because he'd make no mistake, but nothing's certain, not the way he's played this afternoon.
5.
He's, I hate to say it, but he's all over the place at the moment, as Ding. I mean, how far did he miss this by with nothing to do with the cue ball?
What?
Yes, you heard the loud groan from the crowd, and you can see Ding not in a good place there, back in his seat. It's up to Mark Allen to really rub it in, though, by now taking the frame out. Feels like the critical juncture in the afternoon so far, this.
Four. 6. 9.
Yeah, got to be honest again. I mean, we're all huge fans of Ding. Not least of all the two guys sat in this commentary booth, but at the moment, he's just not with it. He's not there at all. He's not even in this match. The way he's playing is absolutely no chance.
13.
He's had plenty of chances, but he simply is not equipped to take them at the moment. And this straightforward blue should be 4-2.
18.
So for the first time, there'll be 2 frames between the players. Mark Allen on another day could certainly have lost this one. Ding's got to somehow recover, though, from
24.
what was a couple of really good chances he'd earned to level up. Mark Allen just 2 now from a place in the last 16, leading 4-2. Yeah, he'd earned the chance. He got back into the frame. As he sits and contemplates what's just happened, well, this is what's just happened.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's marginally stretching on this. He's got the mini butt on, but no, that is again, it's horrible. There it is again. I mean, he's got nothing to do with the cue ball. It's as basic a shot as they come, really. Boy, he's suffering.
Yeah, not great picture that, is it, for Ding's fans? And he's got hundreds of millions of them, of course, not just in China, but right around the world. But right now, well, there's a lot of pressure on the next frame, certainly. You feel he needs to try and get in early if he can and make something happen. But his highest break, he's still only 50. That was the clearance he made in frame 2. Of course, since then, Mark Allen's had centuries, had the 3 highest breaks, actually, in the match, Mark Allen. Without really, you've got to say, being at his best today, but he's been the better player, certainly. Ding Junhui, eyes wide shut, not wanting to look at that table, having just broken down with the chance to make it 3-3 here. Mark Allen was delighted to get the final chance to take out the frame with that little clearance. 4-2 to Allen. Remember, the winner will play the winner of a match tonight between Tom Ford and Noppen Senkam. But Ding having fought his way through qualifying, which is not easy these days. So many great players around. Turned into a little bit of a nightmare. It still feels close in terms of the scoreline, but Allen has certainly played the better snooker. And let's be honest, he could have won all 6 frames. He lost 2, 1 on the pink, 1 on the black. It could have been over by now. He's certainly been the better of the 2. Can Ding regroup? Mark Allen is making him wait and just suffer in that chair.
Yeah, again, I don't like saying it, but the last 2 or 3 years, he has a flaw in his technique, and he can't shake it off. It's as simple as that. And it must be so debilitating for him, because we know his talents, the gift that he has. But if, which I suspect is the case, he has that flaw in his technique that he can't get rid of, then I don't know what the way forward is, because he looks seriously fed up.
Here comes Mark Allen. But it's he's got that mug, but it's dinging hot water at the moment, isn't it, in this match?
Frame.
Big frame, this.
Ding
As he
Junhui
tries
to
to
break.
stay in touch. 4-2 to Allen.
Thanks, gents.
It's funny, this game, when you're out of touch and no confidence, the game sort of throws shots at you, the most horrible ones, this being one of them, pretty much dead straight.
those numbers there, the frame scores. They tell you that the 2 frames ding one, of course, were very close. Yeah, very nicely done. So he's in again.
Yeah, the other thing, I'm not saying this, I'm not saying it's the case at the moment, but so many professional snooker players will recognise what I'm going to say here. And they've probably all been there. As sometimes, again, I'm not saying this is the case with Ding at the moment, but you can be in a time and a place out there where you almost don't want to get a simple chance because the fear of making a hash of it again. Been there myself plenty of times, as a lot of professionals listening to this, they'll think the same thing. It's a horrible place to be, but at the moment there's only one winner, and it's the fella at the table.
Yes, and he is a winner, Mark Allen. By the time he turned professional, he'd won every conceivable amateur title you can think of. Won his first 2 televised matches in his first event against Steve Davis and John Higgins. And he's won tournaments over the years, but it's the last year where he's become more consistent. He's in 4 finals last season, won 3. He's already won 1 this season. He's got that taste for winning. Doesn't want to just come good every couple of years. And he can still, of course, become world #1 at the end of this tournament. It's such a big money event. He would need to reach the final to stand a chance, but that is there as well. Not just at this event, but this season it could happen for him, and that would be a major achievement, because even the 2 great Northern Irish world champions, Dennis Taylor and Alex Higgins, did not get to the very top of the rankings.
24.
Yeah, terrific shot, wasn't it?
27.
Yeah, snooker players are never content, are they? Lands on nicely in 2 reds, goes the black's tied up. He's thinking, woe is me. Well, he's not really thinking that. It was a beautifully played shot, wasn't it? So I've got to try and get this cue ball spinning out of there somehow. Not this time. He wants that red to go in. Otherwise, he's got a problem.
28.
Yeah, scanning the table like Mark, and answers on a postcard. What do you do here? Playing the yellow, the pot, I think. Doesn't have all the pocket, but he's no other outs.
Mark Allen, 28.
Yeah, can't blame him for that. No options, all out of moves he could make. Now, Ding. The saloon doors are kind of swinging shut here. He's got to see if he can keep them open in some way. He's got to put together a score.
One.
Okay, now, perfect on the red. Can play on pink, get it back on its spot. Why he didn't, I'm not quite sure, because it was a natural, as you can see there. Yes, it'll keep, but it sort of keeps the break a wee bit complicated.
Thirty.
Yeah, again, he finishes short when long would have been the prize. Should get this.
$80. $90.
I honestly think he played on the pink there. I know that he knows he's got yellow and waiting, but if he did play in pink, he overhit it by 2 or 3 feet anyway. What's he got then?
21.
7 behind. Black out of commission, so he's going to need all reds to win the frame at this visit.
22. Pink ball, thank you. $28. 29. $35. 36.
Does he have designs on promoting the red-black off this shot? Yes, he does. But it's gone wrong.
42.
Still on the black, but far from certain where the next red comes from. Might be able to hold it. it's in and out of balk. Got to be careful of the in-off, the pocket that he's putting the black in, actually. If he plays it with a lot of pace, which obviously he hasn't done. So the big shot of the frame on the way. And it's not going to be easy. He's going to need the rest.
49.
Yeah, what a shot. Fully committed. And he should clinch the frame now, no problem.
Well, he was sat between frames with his eyes closed, essentially not wanting to look at the snooker table or think about what had just happened, messing up the chance in the last frame. This is very impressive, the way he's come back here. He's shown his mettle at the right time.
58.
That was frame ball. It looked like this match was petering out, frankly. But Ding has shown steel here.
$65. 67.
Yeah, Mark Allen was left with that nasty shot on the yellow with the red over the pocket. Had to take one on, he didn't get it. He was wondering, as I'm sure everyone here at the Barbican was, okay, can Ding actually take advantage? Well, he has done.
74. $79.
So a really good 79 by far, Ding's highest break of the afternoon, and it keeps him well and truly in this match. Mark Allen still 2 from round 2 here at York, leading now only 4-3. Yeah, it's got interesting, hasn't it, with that delightful break from Ding. A couple of really big shots along the way. We were wondering how he was feeling, but when the chance came, he managed to clear his mind in time to take it. And, well, it's living up to billing. I think whoever Mark Allen would have played today, obviously it would have been interesting as defending champ. The fact it's Ding, the rematch of the final, makes it much more so. And we were all hoping it would be entertaining and close, and it certainly has been.
Yeah, it's just what he needed, wasn't it? A winning contribution. And one with quality as well. Black tied up, managed to promote that. That second to last red with a rest was probably shot of the match so far to just about keep him in this. But again, just to say, he's operating with probably his C game at the moment, but there's still time.
So Ding Junhui, 3 times the UK champion, has got himself right back into contention here with that excellent 79 in frame 7 against Mark Allen, of course, the defending champion who beat him in the final. 4-3 to Allen. They met here last year. Of course, Ding was 6-1 up, made 4 centuries on the day, was beaten 10-7. Now, it's a tight old affair on the other table while we wait for Mark, or rather wait for this frame to restart. There's table 2, Mark Williams 3, Fang Zhengyi 3. So a tight one. Williams twice champion, found has fought through the qualifiers. He beat Michael White 6-5 in the final round. It's live on Discovery Plus.
Thank you, the 8th frame. Mark Allen to break.
So Mark Allen was looking a good thing at 4-2. Ding was struggling, but Ding has dramatically got himself back into contention the way he won that 7th frame. Of course, it's Mark Allen, proudly from Northern Ireland. It's 40 years now since Alex Higgins won that dramatic 1983 UK final from 7-0 down. It was a two-day final in those days. 7-0 down to the great Steve Davis, won 16-15. One of many, many great memories from this wonderful tournament over nearly 5 decades now. Well, when he won the tournament here 4 years ago, Rachel Casey interviewed him and he said, Ding is back. And he's back in this match, isn't he? Suddenly he's knocking these in, looking much more confident.
Yeah, it's good to see knocking in that type of shot. Oh, just a wee bit quick there.
Junhui won. One. Five. Six.
Disappointing positional shot there, looking for the low black. And this is no cinch because it's also a change of plan. See then, the cushions have been quite soft for this type of shot, not that easy to get up. Top side of the blue, of course it's the pink in this occasion, or the plant. Black waiting, no problem with the cue ball, got to get the plant though. Yeah, nicely done.
13.
Lovely piece of cueing, that wasn't it, to get the cue ball spitting back so, towards him. Pink spot covered, that's no terrible thing either.
20.
So keep it out of harm's way at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's on the spot.
Yeah, Mark just asking Rob Spencer there, just to be sure, is the black on its spot? He's perfectly able to do that because it was the last shot that he played. He wouldn't be able to ask that question now. But now play this one properly, top side of the pink. It should be a chance to go one from victory. Key shot this.
$28. $34. $35. $41. 42.
He's always been known for this close positional play. He always seems to be, you know, tight in behind the next ball. Ray Reardon once said that there's 22 balls on the snooker table. There's only one that actually counts, the white. If you can control that, then that's the key to all of it.
48.
And he would know because recently, he's 91, Ray, and just a couple of weeks ago, he made a century. Ooh, another frame where he's got the lead and has not killed it off. He wasn't quite happy with position, but you still fancied him to pot that.
Yes, another potential twist in the tail.
What?
Oh, his cue ball just made it. Now he's perfect as far as access to the reds go. So one good positional shot here, and he should get right back in the frame at least. It's ideal.
5. $6.
So the black clearly doesn't go, because if it did, he'd have played this pink by now. So he's having to work only off the pink, which gives him more than a few problems.
$12.
Two reds by the pink there. The bottom one looks like it goes to this same right corner. But it's fashioning a nice angle on the pink to get there.
30, thank you.
Which obviously he can't, but he can play the disturb, so a little half-ball brush cannon on the top one of the two. Push it on, and he will be right back in this.
Nice. $20.
Yeah, looking at the cannon on the two reds this time round, but he's not going to get a big piece of them, I don't think. So he's going to hold off for a couple of shots. But at least he's back in the frame, that's the key. The main thing, and he's in possession, he's a man at the table. And having played that nicely, it gives him a chance now of getting
26.
well, decent on the pink. Not going to be easy. The other thing is, if he goes the two cushions, although it's a 3-ball cluster there, it's actually a very small target of two cushions. Trying to keep it square off one then, bigger target this way. Great shot, great effort. Yeah, unlucky, but well played. It's been a good visit.
33.
You can see the disappointment as well. He's gone, I think, in this match from sort of not quite fancying it to seriously fancying his chances. He's got his teeth back into it. This is a big one. It's looking good. It's looking very good. What a shot from Ding. Played the white back to the cushion for safety, but he's on the black, of course.
Oh, this is a wages shot. This is where you earn your money. What a tough shot. Got to be red for the same pocket. Oh, it's a wonderful shot. The shot of the match under the circumstances, because now it should be 4-4.
41.
What an effort this has been. Didn't see this coming 20 minutes, half an hour ago, must be honest.
Yeah, and that lightning striking twice, it keeps on striking Mark Allen, doesn't it? Because another frame where he's been in front, another frame might be stolen from him.
49.
Yeah, I must confess that I had sort of given up the ghost a couple of frames ago as far as Ding's concerned, but the most important person hasn't, is Ding himself. What an effort this has been.
$54.
Wonderful break. Just needs to close it out. He's 7 in front, so brown and blue needed. Mark Allen, you can see, arms folded. Can't quite believe the way this is turned around. He's had enough chances to win this match by now. But this is the ball that should make it 4-4. Another great steal. He's like a modern-day York Highwayman, isn't he, Ding Junhui here? This has been very impressive, these last two frames. Mark Allen missed again that red to right middle when he was in. One snooker required, 16 in it, 13 on.
63.
Otherwise, it's 4 each.
Got to keep his wits about him here. I think the play here is actually send the pink down towards the black. Deciding on the corner, but well played. Can't get a snooker from here, just got to somehow get the pink safe. Of course, he just about gets one. An easy hit. In fact, I think he can actually see it, no problem.
Yeah, it's always so difficult with just pink and black on the Ding's position, trying to sort of lag the pink over a pocket. Better still in a pocket. Well, let's be honest, we wanted a thriller, didn't we, to start our coverage, and that's what we've got now. It's going to be a best of 3, assuming Allen doesn't get this snooker on the pink. Things have turned against him, partly a couple of mistakes from him, but also Ding digging in very impressive fashion. Breaks of 79 and 63 in the last 2. We're all square. 4-4. So Allen was going along nicely. He was on 48. He wasn't quite happy with position here. Took the red to the middle. I think we still expected him to get that. He certainly did. But then the question is, can Ding step in? This was a big shot, freeing these 2 reds. And then 2 more big shots. He decided to take the red onto the corner, as we saw. And perfect camera angle of it going in. And then he had the black as well to get on the red. And after that, the clearance looked very lightly. And here's the black. So terrific stuff there. Probably his best frame so far, that. And, well, who's going to come through now? Mark Allen has made the running all afternoon, but suddenly it's all square. And as I say, it's an opening afternoon thriller here in York, and the crowd could not be happier about that. They've paid their money, of course, to come along. Looking forward to this, no doubt, ever since they got their tickets, and it's a good afternoon to be here. So Ding Junhui on the comeback trail, 4-2 down he was. It's 4-4, and we're awaiting Ding for frame 9. It's also close on the other table, but Mark Williams just going 4-3 in front there against Fang Zhengyi, who'd won the last frame. So Williams, of course, the British Open champion. He beat Mark Selby in that final earlier this season, and he's won this UK Championship twice before. He leads 4-3, and he will play, if he does come through, either Kyron Wilson or Jamie Clark. He's, of course, Clark's the man who beat him in last year when Mark, let's be honest, wasn't too well. But he got himself into the lead there, 4-3. It's all live on Discovery Plus. Every match you can watch, of course, there. As I say, Allen has had enough chances, you've got to say, in the frames so far to have got this match won by now, but suddenly, it's not just that it's turned round. You get matches that maybe will narrow, but it's the way Ding's come back. Ding looked earlier this afternoon not in a good place, but he's managed to get himself together in a big way. And now, arguably looking the stronger of the 2. All good stuff, Allen.
Yeah, very much so. I didn't see it coming, I must confess, when it was 4-2. I thought Ding's race was almost run. There was nothing to sort of be enthusiastic about. But somehow or other, he's managed to pull himself together.
tonight. Karen Wilson, the Warrior. Of course, looking to land one of these really big titles. He was in the semis here 2 years ago. He's up against Jamie Clark, who's fought through the qualifiers. And I can tell you, it was a fight for everybody. He beat Dave Gilbert in quite a dramatic match, quite a dramatic finish. I don't think Dave was too happy at the end. He was gutted not to make it. But Jamie has made it, and that will be 8:45 CET, 7:15, of course, in the UK. That Radzi and the guys in the studio will have the big build-up.
Thank you. The 9th frame. Ding Junhui to break.
So Ding has got himself right back into contention. He's won the last 2. He's won them impressively. 4-4. And on the aggregate, Mark Allen is still around about 200 points in front, but that, of course, is not an aggregate score match. It just tells you that Ding's been winning the close frames.
Yeah, and Mark will be feeling different about things after that. The last couple of frames, all of a sudden, Ding looks very dangerous. Understandably, probably playing the overcut. Yeah, certainly wary.
Pat Wells there from World Snooker Tour, delivering the latest hot water to Ding. That kettle's been working overtime backstage. This is a match now really coming to the boil, isn't it? And as I say, Alan, from his perspective, it's the way Ding's won those frames. He's only needed one chance in each of them. It's not been scrapping it out. It's been, okay, I've missed, he's going to step in. So that will put him on notice to try and cut out any more errors.
Interesting this time. Ding's not interested in that long red. Not the time or the place, I don't think. I think it's a wise decision, this, but needs a good cue ball. And he hasn't got it. So, sort of shot here that he'd fancy Mark knocking in, but back to the wall. Or bridging. Yeah, terrific pot and terrific cue ball as well.
Three. Four.
Well, this is where I think you really see the qualities of a player. It's not when things are going well. It's when you're in adversity, which I guess he is, having lost the last 2. Mark Allen is made of tough stuff. We know that. We saw it here last year when he had to come from 6-1 down.
11.
We've seen it already this season in Bolton at the Champion of Champions, which he won in fine style. And remember, it's 11 years since he lost his first match in the UK Championship, so he does not want to be going out on day one and to watch the rest of it at home, especially as defending champion.
90. 20. $25. $26.
Just seemed to have been a lot of frames today where he's got in and not quite made enough, and he clearly doesn't want this to be another one. So it's a big visit, this, for Alan. As he goes into them.
$33. $34.
Yeah, may have looked a bit ungainly, that one, but he was almost jumping up off the shot for fear of fouling something with the cue ball coming back up towards him. So looking good. He's taken these with the minimum of fuss as well, been in good style. Just a few shots away from going back in front.
$49. $50.
Yeah, that balance that we see a little screw shot into the pack, the balance we've been talking about that Mark's been searching for. He's been, I wouldn't say slow around the table trying to work openings, but when he gets into this kind of position where red's at his mercy, he picks up the pace all of a sudden. I think that's kind of what he's been looking for. He's always going to, you know, in a safety battle, he's always going to take some time and mind his work and be careful. But it's difficult when you're doing that to then get your chance like this and step it up a notch.
58.
But that's what he's doing. So black, red colour to secure this frame.
Yes, and you can see the concentration. He cannot afford to let Ding in with another chance to make another clearance. So 3 more pots then.
$65.
Yeah, there you see it, it's gone wrong. Let's end a break. Barring something extraordinary. Quite telling, actually. I mean, those two reds, just to the right of the pink, just below it and to the right, they both go to right middle, but he clearly didn't fancy them. So he played a precise positional shot, which has gone completely wrong. So it's just nestled the red onto the side cushion, and Ding's going to get at least a chance to get back in this.
65.
Yeah, another good break, but it's come to an end before Alan's won the frame, and that's the concern for him. He's seen this happen in this match. He's got the lead, hasn't quite killed the frame off. The danger is, if Ding does get in at some point, he could do it again.
All of a sudden. You see, I think a shot like that, it wasn't all that difficult, the return to ball, but I think it's just born of the fact that Ding at the moment looks dangerous, and Mark knows it.
1. Eight.
Yeah, nicely played. He had to play it with just a tracer right-hand side, just to square up the pot. May have looked clumsy, that, but it wasn't. I think what we're seeing here, these last couple of frames, that I've said this before, there's never a player been born yet that if you don't lean, if you lean on them heavily enough, they will topple over eventually. You've just got to keep pressurising. And Ding, of course, been able to do that now that he's got his scoring boots on.
Seventeen.
This is where his good cue ball control might just come in handy. It's going to be key here, off not this red, but the next one. If he can get just around straight on it,
25.
and he should be able to pick a spot on the colour that follows to lift the other one.
Thirty. $32.
Now, has he got a big enough piece of this thread in terms of the cannon? It looks pretty good. It looks about full ball. Direct cannon. Oh, that'll do lovely. What a shot that is, and it's just about cuttable.
It's happening again. Incredible. Another frame where Mark Allen's made the running. Can Ding Junhui once again steal it? He's given himself every chance getting on the last red.
39. $43.
What a transformation. I didn't think there was any chance of this. It was 4-2 to Mark. But you've got to hand it to Ding. He somehow has found his form, and his cue ball has now started behaving also. And he's looking cool.
$48. 52.
Get matches where one clearance can turn the tide, but in this, there's been several.
57.
Ding has only led once at 2-1. But if he pots pink and black, he'll be one from victory at 5-4.
$63.
Yeah, you heard the crowd. It needed to keep coming. Okay, one more pot, Ding. Hold on. Is it in? Oh, it is. What a dramatic frame. A dramatic finish to the frame in a very dramatic match. He's stolen another one. Ding Junhui, 3 on the spin to lead 5-4.
Can we see?
Now then, table 2, while we just take a breather from what's happening there, Mark Williams, another pressure player for sure. He's, well, chance to go 5-3 over Fan. He's not quite there yet. He's 17 in front. These two reds both available, though.
46.
First played, of course, in the 92 UK Championship. So another player with a great record of experience to call on.
Keep the noise down, please.
These matches, of course, all matches live on Discovery Plus. Philip Studd and Dominic Dale are commentating currently on that one. The big shot now for Mark on the last red.
50.
23 in front, just needs to land nicely on a colour. If he pots the red, of course.
52.
Which he's done. So Mark Allen has had plenty of chances in the frames this afternoon to get the match won. He hasn't quite been closing them out. 65, it's a good break, but it wasn't quite enough. He then mishit a safety, and Ding once again stepped in, and we keep saying it's probably now the best clearance of the match after the previous best in the previous frame. 3 on the spin, excellent from Ding, and now it's Mark Allen trying to concentrate. He's got the eyes shut, just trying to focus on now, trying to firstly stay in this match by forcing a decider. There's been a big turnaround here.
Yeah, it's 2. And let's hope for Mark Allen's sake it is 2 frames to come. 2 of the biggest frames of his season, potentially. Yes, on the champion of champions in fine style. Demolished the field, actually. But, of course, it wasn't a ranking event. And he could seriously be doing with a few ranking points to get his season really up and running on that score. If he loses today, as we said at the start of this match, he'll struggle to get in the Grand Prix in the new year, just coming up after the Masters itself.
Yeah, it's worth explaining that Mark Allen, with the tiered system, if he loses this match, he gets no ranking points. He gets the money, but he gets no points. So it's an advantage to be seeded through, yes, but if you lose this match, it turns out to be a disadvantage. Just adds a bit of pressure.
Ding's cue ball getting better all the time as he got cover with a brown. As far as the regular safety shot, he has. This is a nasty one. Whichever shot he decides to play here, it's quite a nasty one.
Quiet as possible, please.
Go at the pot with check side. Probably playing it on the thin side. Yeah, like that. Good shot. Good choice, actually. It was his only way back to balk. Ding once again has that option of the long red, but he doesn't look interested. This might be a shot to nothing, or sorry, a plant to nothing. I'd be disappointed with that. Needs it to run badly. He's not the worst result. Well, there's real rapt silence here from this audience. Absolutely captivated by this match. Callan 4-2. Frankly looked the only man in it, but Ding, to his absolute credit, has worked his way back, and now it is Allen who's under pressure. You can sense it, you can see it. Wary that one mistake potentially could end this match. And of course, with it, his title defence. So many of the stats favour him. Look at the pot success. 95% is excellent. But it's not just about missing balls, it's about not playing good safety. That has contributed a little bit to Ding turning it round. Total points still favouring him, even though he's a frame behind.
Well,
Oh,
wow.
and a miss.
Well, what an extraordinary shot that was. It's hit the blue, not the pink in. Yeah, there was quite a lot of
Yeah,
movement.
if you want to put that Ding, yeah.
Yeah, Rob Spencer's going to have a job.
Ben, can you bring it up, please? I think pink's on the spot and blue's on the spot, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, the yellow also moved about 2 balls to the left as we see it.
How do the blue and pink look?
Ben Williams on the marker's
Yeah,
desk now.
pink's further up or further towards me, whichever it is, until you look at it.
Further towards you? No.
Try towards Bork. Yeah, pink's right. Yeah,
Blue's okay.
blue's right. Yellow across. Yeah, that way. No, that way.
Yeah, I know, I can see. I'm just...
Sorry. The ball that way.
Hang on.
Yeah, as I say, the yellow moved about 2 ball widths to the left.
More. A little bit towards me. Yeah, that looks about
The
right.
trickiest one actually is going to be this cue ball, because it's clearly very tight whether Mark can get through to the red itself. He's obviously playing the pot.
How's that look cue ball wise?
A full ball towards Ding. A little bit further. Yeah, that looks about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mark, have a look at that. No, I thought you could hit a full ball, couldn't you? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, we're talking sort of just fractions by now, but they make a difference. Clearly. Callan would be probably would know better than anyone in the room actually where this cue ball was, because he was playing the shot. He was right behind it.
Closer to the cushion.
This is right on it, so it's,
Yeah, I
it's
mean-
just marginal.
I was at the side, Mark. I'm quite happy with that. You're happy with that, yeah? Ding? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all fair. I mean, it's as good as you could expect, really. I think what we have to assume is that Mark could get through to the pot. He obviously just caught the thinnest of blue paint on the blue, so he may not fancy the same shot again. But if he does, I say, we can assume that he could get through to it. So here we go, take 2. And all in all, a great result. Yes, there's a shot to nothing potentially for Ding, but that was a good reply.
Well, I know one thing, if the 9 days are all going to be like this, it's going to be a dramatic tournament, but that's what we expect. Qualifiers had their own drama, but of course that was all about getting through to the main stage. This is now where you have to step up, and Ding has done that in the last 3 frames to pile the pressure on the Northern Irishman.
Yeah, crunching pot, wasn't it? It had to go. These players are always ambitious and be disappointed not to be on a colour, but also grateful for small mercies that the fact that he's still at the table. Pink's not an option. I think he can get through to the pot, but it's not a shot you can play. No, but the cue ball's in, and the pink's going to be handy. Here's a big shot
Mark,
coming up
one.
for Ding.
Ding's your
Massive shot coming up. He's played lovely the last 3 frames. Can he find a long red just when he needs it? Black waiting, pink waiting. Great pot.
One.
In the worst case possible. Yes, he's still on the pink with the rest, so it won't be easy. The trouble is holding for a red. The softer you play this, the more difficult the pot. Playing it with deep drag, trying to keep the pace on the cue ball and then just ease it off as it meets the pink. No, a lovely shot. Very good.
So Ding has a chance to get it won. Didn't look likely about an hour ago. Something about this UK Championship, though, that he likes. 3 titles. He's been runner-up, of course, last year as well.
Thanks. 8.
It's clearly tight. The good news is the natural way of playing it is with a helping side, right-hand side, just to throw the pot in. Now it's a genuine chance to win the match. This is as good as it gets. Plenty reds in the open.
15.
Yeah, when he went 4-2 down, between frames, he had his eyes shut. He looked, frankly, fed up. But it says a lot about him that when he got the chance in frame 7, he took it. He made 79. He made a 63 clearance in the 8th. He made a 70 clearance in the 9th. In this frame, he's the man in front. It's in his hands to get it won here.
$24.
Yeah, and from a neutral point of view, which we try to be, it's good to see, because probably but there's always a miss in there. Ding. Wow.
24.
He was down in the shot a wee bit longer. It was as if he couldn't make up his mind whether to punch stun it or sort of drag it in. In the end, he sort of dragged it and dragged the black to the near jaw. Just going to say, I've been probably Ding's biggest critic the last 2 or 3 years. But wow.
One.
What a chance that was.
How quickly the emotions shift in this sport. Ding on a high now. In a low in his chair. Mark Allen must have feared the worst, having played pretty well overall this afternoon.
8.
Looking to extend his title defence. Might have thought it was over. Now he's the man with the chance to potentially take us the distance.
9.
Yeah, just the odd minor detail with Ding. That's all it is. Just the odd poor shot here and there. He was down on it for quite a long time, as I say. Couldn't make his mind up. Indecision, I think, is going to cost him.
$50. 60.
Classic example, that thing we say a lot. You've got to be in your chair, prepared and waiting and ready and expecting the chance. When it comes along, I'm going to jump all over it.
24. 31.
Yeah, so 4 points behind. 5 red, blacks are 40. Put them 36 in front with 1 red left.
32.
I know that's all easy. It sounds easy, doesn't it? Me sitting here and talking it, but that'll be the target. 5 blacks to not need the last red.
$39.
Well, a blizzard of stats on the screen, but all eyes are on Mark Allen. Well, all eyes are on that fly right now on the cue ball. That's a rather unfortunate thing to happen. He dealt with that more humanely than some referees might do.
So now up for pink, so and that's not played all that well. So he's going to need all remaining reds to win the frame at this visit. Good recovery, back in prime position.
46. $47. $54.
Playing to shift the red.
55.
No, perhaps not. But a decent positional shot now. Little half ball cannon on the red. This is tough to land nice. Oh, lovely. Played it to perfection.
62.
Yeah, checking the scores. Red and black ding could tie.
63.
This was the black that Ding missed when he was in, looking good. But red hasn't come out from the cushion.
7.
So 35 in front, 35 on.
Mark Allen 70.
the other match is finished, so there might be a bit of noise in the background. I guess if this goes to a decider, they'll bring that wall up. But people are understandably making a bit of noise at such a critical stage on this table. This has still got a chance. This has got a chance. Oh!
Yeah, wow.
There's
Now,
still a match on progress on this side. As quiet as you can, please.
yeah, Rob Spencer just calming down the other side of the auditorium. Now then, Ding, no problem, obviously, with the pot. But he can't get close to the black. Oh, who can't? What a shot. He's actually a bit unlucky. Don't touch that cue ball. You do yourself a mischief. The spin on it. What a shot.
Eight. Junhui 8.
So 27 in front, Mark Allen. 27 on this yellow, the ball, isn't it? Everything else is there. If Ding were to get on it to force the respot.
Decent chance to get in behind the black. Plenty cover up that central line of the table. The blue and pink are going to help him, or are they? Yeah, he's got the snooker. Swerve this a lot. Half ball on the right. It could be an in-off. Well played, but needs cover. Yeah, terrific effort. Just about play the back heel with lots of side. Going to get perilously close to the black. Looking for something full ball contact. Half ball, and it's given Ding, well, at least a half chance at this.
Well, but for the kiss on the blue, that would have been one of the shots of the afternoon under the circumstances.
actually been really unlucky because he can't play the simple punch green down this end and get in behind Brown. That shot's not on, so it's quite a tricky one, whichever shot he decides to play. Close cover, so just push the green past the middle pocket and try and find the cover. He's made a lovely job of it as well. Not a certainty, the hit. How does he get separation? That's the thing with this escape. All in all, an excellent result.
As you can see, there is a gap between brown and blue. Yeah, so the chance arrives. Thing's been waiting for, but how does he get on the brown? Not possible to the right pocket.
3.
About as good as he could have expected.
Yeah, pretty horrible shot that, and you're always going to, at that pace, leave it on. So Mark Allen will be very relieved. He had the perfect view of it there, didn't he, as it was coming towards the pocket.
4.
We're going all the way in our first match of the televised phase of this year's UK Championship, a rematch of last year's final. Once again, Mark Allen and Ding Junhui bringing the drama.
No.
Allen will be very relieved. Ding had the chance for the respot. It wasn't to be, so one more frame to decide it. What a match it's turned into. Mark Allen and Ding Junhui level at 5-all. The decider coming up next. I can tell you the wall is coming up, so the people who've had the good sense to... But as to who's going to win this one, we're going to find out. And what a thrilling start to the tournament. So one more frame needed to find the winner of this match. For the record in the UK Championship, Mark Allen has won 11 out of 14 deciders. Ding has won 5 out of 9. Who's going to win this one? Well, Ding, it didn't look like it would be here, did it? A couple of hours ago, he was 4-2 down. He pulled out 3 terrific clearances in a row to lead 5-4. Mark Allen, though, with that very solid 70, in the end did hang on. The wall is up, as you can see, so the people on the other side who waited after the Mark Williams match will get to see this last frame It's when this came out, when they were drawn out, obviously there was a bit of spice because they were in the final last year. But regardless of that, it was always looked a good match, and that's what it's turned into. And it's a blockbusting start for everyone here at the Barbican and everyone watching around the world. Ding, of course, has many fans in China. Mark Allen has become a very popular player in his own right. He wouldn't want to call it right now, I don't think. Just waited for Allen to return to see if he can keep his defence on track. Ding has fought hard, and that's been important. That's why it's still going. He's dug in. He's kept the belief. Has to now, of course, keep it for one more frame. And then it won't be too long until we're back for the evening session. And it's Karen Wilson, Jamie Clark on the main table tonight. 8:45 CET, 7:15 in the UK for the build-up with Rancy and the guys in the studio. Ding just trying to keep himself focused here. Ahead of one more frame. The other match tonight, myself and Alan on Discovery Plus will be talking you through Tom Ford against Noppen Senkam. Ford's first match as a member of the top 16. It might be his last for a while. He'll need to win it to get those ranking points and stay on track for the Masters. 7 o'clock seed, 7 o'clock UK time, that is.
Yeah, terrific match that'll be for us tonight. Yeah, Tom Ford. It's not fair, that, is it, really? I mean, if, you know, he can still win tonight. He can win the tournament, but if he was to lose, of course, back out of the top 16, not really fair, is it? You know, he should be... It's not like back in my day when you held your ranking for a full season. But back he comes then. Mark Allen ready for the final battle.
The handshake before the decider. It's been a thrilling start to the UK Championship, and one more frame remains. Mark Allen 5, Ding Junhui 5. Everyone's settling down for the decider.
Half-ball kiss has saved them.
Touching ball.
Yeah, second prize, I guess, for Ding, but that red as it just nestled towards the pack of reds. If it catches it full ball, Ding has a sitter and a good chance. As it is, nothing doing. Sort of direct shot at a red, and if he doesn't, there's no obvious path into resting on the cluster of reds. He's in a bit of trouble here, Mark. More than a bit of trouble, I'd suggest. So 2 cushions, just trying to rest on the southern edge of them. Yeah, well played. Sometimes in deciders, the trouble can be. I'm not suggesting it is with these two class players, but you can sort of go into your bunker in some way and think, over my dead body, am I giving you a chance? The problem with that is you don't take any risks yourself. You try to be a bit too careful and a bit certain about everything. Quality. That is quality.
Yeah, well, his safety, he's rated at 91% success-wise this afternoon. Allen at 69. So on that score, Ding has been the better player. Good time, though, to pull one out like that, isn't it? At the start of the decider.
Round the back of it's no good. Oh, we just got enough of it. Mark's Hart would have skipped a beat or two there. He'd been worried about thinning that red, leaving a sitter. Got the pot here. Looks like it. A single red on its own. Shot to nothing. Ah, dig. Tremendous dig.
Five. Six.
Part one in any decider is try and earn yourself the chance, which he's done. Part two is take it. There's been a lot of frames this afternoon where Allen has been very close to wrapping them up and not quite done it. Boy, would he love just an 80 here to get it won.
$40. 21. 22.
25.
absolutely perfect. Should still be okay, but
29.
if he plays the straighter red of the two, he's going to get the cue ball going towards that side cushion, just marginally. See, it's stuck on it. It's still okay, but for a lefty, it's a bit awkward, this. Not a certainty. And the good news is he's put everything into the pot with the red waiting. Yeah, nicely done. Sign of confidence taking this round. Yes, he should get it, but it opens things up. The two next to it. Oh, but wow. Has he got cover?
37.
I don't think so. Where did that come from?
That was his chance. This is Ding's. Will Mark Allen get another? It's been the sort of afternoon he's just not been killing frames off. He seems to have missed a few to the middles as well. It's been, as ever, chat about pockets. These are not generous, these middles. Still unexpected, though.
It's gone wrong. That's probably end of break. It's still cuttable, maybe, but
8.
I just don't think he can play it. Not at this stage. Perhaps he can, but this is a risk. Unsure about the cue ball as well. Oh, brilliant pot. And a bonus, perfectly on the blue. They're all there for him.
Well, he got his reward there for bravery. And he's still going. I'm not sure Ding would see victory today necessarily as revenge for last year. There's no trophy available today as we see the shot again, but it would be satisfying, make no mistake, after what happened last year.
50.
Overscrewed that. Just needs to steady himself here. Keep the head still in this one. Half ball, half blind. Well played.
$20.
Well, this is now a serious chance for a player who, trailing 4-2, didn't seem to have much of a chance the way it was going. But it's a reminder just what a great player he is. We don't see it all season long these days, but when he turns it on, Ding is still formidable.
30. $37. 38.
And all of a sudden this cue ball looks pristine. There it is again, close proximity to the red. That's 2 shots in a row. That type of shot landed absolutely on a button.
45.
This should be a done deal, even under the pressure, and there's lots of it. For a player of Ding's class, this is a virtual certain put away.
Yes, and regardless of the vagaries of form, there's no doubt he was the one player the top 16 wanted to avoid when that draw was made. He had to draw someone. It was Mark Allen once again here in York.
54.
Whose title defence now hanging by a thread. And there's nothing he can do other than hope Ding somehow goes wrong in the next minute.
He
needs the 2 reds.
62.
What an afternoon. What a start to this UK Championship.
69.
And what a win this will be for Ding Junhui if he can knock this red in. 4-2 down, in big trouble. He kept on finding resolve in frames that Mark Allen looked like he was going to win, and the same in the decider. Allen again in front, couldn't quite kill it off. Back comes China's number 1.
75.
You can see the disappointment on Mark Allen's face. This is the first time he's lost his opening match in the UK Championship for 11 years. But especially disappointing because he was defending champ.
Yeah, well played, Ding. I must confess, at one stage today, I seriously doubted whether he had this kind of rearguard action performance in him. But he's produced it.
84.
Unlikely as it seemed at the time. But he's gotten better and better as the winning line is approached, and that augurs well for what lies
89.
ahead.
Talk about a grandstand finish. Pink and black for a century. What a performance it's been in the end. Ding Junhui completes victory with a century clearance, 102. He rekindles his love affair with this UK Championship. 3 times the champion. He was on the wrong side in the final last year against Mark Allen. But when the rematch came, he dug in all afternoon. 4-2 down, really struggling. He found something, and then he found it again, and then he found it again. And he has reached round 2 in an absolute thriller. A winner by 6 frames to 5.
When the draw was announced on Thursday, and it was Ding Junhui, the 3 times UK champion, facing the defending champion Mark Allen, we knew it was going to be a special match. But the first headline of this year's campaign, and it is the defending champion, is out on day 1 of the UK champs. Mark Williams, a man who's won it more than once, successfully goes through against China's Fang Zhenghui. Obviously, later on, we've got 2 other matches to look forward to. But as for that match there, Jim, I mean, at the very beginning, we weren't sure exactly how it was going to go. It was edgy at times, but that deciding frame, that was tense, that was exciting.
Yeah, it was very tense. You know, the first 4 frames, it looked like Mark Allen possibly could have been 4-0 up. He missed a few positional shots. And then Ding missed the black off the spot to, you know, to go with the game before last. And Mark Allen's made it 5 each. It looked like Ding was going to win it there. And then to do it in the last frame the way he did. Okay, Mark Allen missed a simple red in the middle, but he took them really well. That gave him a lot of confidence.
And Ron, at one stage we were seeing Ding in his chair. He looked tired, he looked dejected, his eyes were closed. You're thinking, is this all over? And then he just mounted an unbelievable comeback.
Yeah, he's got that sort of way about him. You know, if it's not going well for him, he can look down and out. But then if he starts to pot a few and gets involved in the game, he gets excited about playing again, you know. So it seems like he needs things to go his way for him to feel like he wants to win, you know. But he's such a talented player that he can get away with that, you know. But yeah, I mean, he's quite fortunate to get through today there, you know, because Allen had his chances in that last one. We was like thinking it was game done and dusted. But when he did get his chance, he was clinical. You know, one thing you can say about Ding is he's probably the most clinical player out there. You know, once the balls are there, you know, like that last frame, you think, out of anyone, if you had to choose someone, because his positional play is so good, you know, you'd feel comfortable with him like taking them. So when you play like that, you know, it's very hard to play bad. Do you know what I mean? Because this game is all about positional play. This long red here by Mark Allen, I was sitting there watching it, and because you had the good white, you know, you are fancying him to get that. So he was in with a good chance there, wasn't he, Jim?
Yeah, you declared that, you know, it's like a billiard shot. You know, you're hitting the weight of the white. But if you get the pot, you guarantee to miss the other reds and come up for a bulk colour. Like this sort of situation here, Mark Allen doesn't really miss from there. He seems to have snatched at that one.
You did call it, Jim. You did say it was a dangerous shot. He could miss, and you called it right.
But, you know, but then Ding, you know, he looked a bit edgy at the start, and he would be, but he's played a bad black before this, but then Ron said he's gone for this red, a little bit of the needle, but once it's gone in, he's got that nice kiss on the blue. We fancied he'd do it from there, and he did take him really well.
Ron, for you, was it a case of Ding played well or Allen played badly? Which one of those two is closer?
I think Allen would have been more disappointed because I think he would have thought I should have put Ding away a lot earlier. He had chances to put him away. You know, 2 or 3 times in the game he could have pushed on and he hasn't. But that's if you don't, that's what generally happens. You know, you end up getting punished and losing the match and thinking like, how have I lost that match? You know, Ding just hanged in there and just you know.